Ja, soll ich loslegen? Ich leg mal los. So, a very warm welcome to everybody who attended here. I think it's not too much. It's a quite familiar level that we gather here. And we don't have really much to discuss. We have to elect a new board, and we have some speeches about some topics. The first one I want to greet here to speak to us is Sven Clément of the Pirate Party Luxembourg.
Thank you. So because we have 25 minutes, we are 25 minutes late. I will only talk for maximum 5 minutes, so you can be happy. If not, I would have talked during at least 30 minutes to fill the time, because we are not that many people and we've got time to fill. But actually, I'm on the one hand happy for Pirate Without Borders that they exist, that they are doing, or at least trying to connect different pirates. I'm very happy that they have one project that's really visible in the pirate world, and that is pirate streaming. And even if it doesn't work today, I would thank Wolfgang and the entire crew of Pirate Streaming for their work they are doing, because I believe that shows how we can connect pirates through the world. Only because of such projects are we able to participate in discussions. Even if we are not actively participating, we are able to passively connect to audiences through Europe. We can watch in real time meetings of Pirate Party Germany, of Pirate Party Switzerland, or Pirate Party Austria. At the moment, I hope that many more pirate parties will connect to the same system, so that we are able to really interconnect the pirate parties worldwide, so that every pirate in the world will be able to watch how pirate politics are done in different countries. Only because of the Pirate Without Borders do we have an infrastructure that enables us to participate. And Gregory, thank you for, you are a bad scholar, you know that. You should listen if somebody's talking. Yeah. I thanked pirate streaming, and I was elaborating on that it's very important to have such infrastructures. You agreed, that's very nice of you. So I promised that I would be very brief, and because also I have a game where I need to be at 15 o'clock, so I wish you fun. I wish you very fruitful discussions, and I'll see you hopefully tonight for St. Patrick's Day in Luxembourg City somewhere. Jerry will organize something. You sat in front of the palace? I can live with that. 9? 9. Everybody agrees on 9? We can also already meet at 8 if you want. If 8 is better. 1 vote for 8, 2 votes for 8, 3 votes for 8. Who gives more? 8-5, we have a vote for 8-5. 8-5, no, sorry sir, if you raise your hand, your bidding stands, sorry. 8-5 for the first. For the second? Nobody? And sold. Thank you. 8-5 in front of the palace in Luxembourg City. See you there.
Thank you very much. So the agenda for today is defined. I think we have to be finished until 8:05. So I'll make it quick. No, as I said, we don't have really much things to discuss. The first thing I want to ask you as an assembly is if you allow recording and streaming and, you know, surveillance. Not? It is working. Yeah, yeah. We're live on the internet. So, where's the first part? I missed it. No, I can't find my agenda. That's so. I don't have anything. So, please, Jerry Vaya, I propose you as assembly leader for today. Well, that's your problem then. Actually, it's just
the discussion, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, what else? Yeah. So.
Okay. So it's my turn, what?
Yeah. I propose you as the election, as the assembly president. So I now ask the assembly, do you accept Jerry as the assembly president for today? Yes. Do I count a yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a majority. Thank you, Jerry.
You're very welcome. So thank you for the trust you place in me. So as you can see, we'll start with reports, I guess, from the board. Voting committee. Ah, for people to help me to count the votes. Yes, okay. So we need some person who helps us count the votes and see who is elected. Gregory Engels. Volunteers? Yes. Is there anyone opposed to Gregory Engels being election assembly? No. Election voting committee, leader, president? I don't see any opposition. So Gregory, you can take care of the voting procedures. You need to? Okay. Can you do it? No, you'll be elected, so you can't do it. So, Patrick? Yes. No, Patrick, he waved his hat, so yes. So anyone opposed to Patrick and Gregory being the election voting committee? No, I don't see any opposition, so congratulations. So, then we come to the report of the board. So I think we'll start with only board members present. So Georg Zinn, it's your turn to give your report.
Thank you. And well, I got 2 pages here with the report. I will also post it to the wiki so everybody can read it afterwards. Our last assembly was in Basel, our last general assembly, and we didn't have a extraordinary meeting in between like last year. So there we accepted the codex that we had on our extraordinary meeting before. We reworked it and finally we were able to accept it and to publish it. Not very much later, the French pirates asked us to make a translation of it, and they also published that. We just recently linked again the blog posts, and I think it got a really good response also in the Pirate Party of France, because I think not only you worked on that. So Then right after our after our general assembly, we had another board meeting because we elected 2 new board members. Those were Franziska Fischer and Florian Pankerl, and we assigned them to positions in the board, just as we said on our statutes. So Franziska Fischer became the new vice president, and Florian Pankerl was the new technical administrator. And with that, we also set sails for the PPI assembly, which happened to take place on just 2 weeks later. We also sponsored that event, gave some money for that. We were also present there, and we also could provide some new flyers and get new members from there. We also said that we want to organize some socializing as we connect pirates. So we decided to have the socializing event on Saturday. So we set up everything with a nice restaurant at the lake. And then the Friday evening, when we all met before the conference, the early arrivers, we were at a different place and we got kicked out. So we were in the position to provide a restaurant for the later evening, which also was a nice happening, and I think we started with a right attribution to the PPI conference. So then on Saturday, again, we ate there. The next thing that was in May, so 2 months later, we decided to cooperate with Pirate Streaming. I was very happy that Wolfgang could also provide me a special report on pirate streaming in the last year. I will read from that later, because actually he has to do the techniques today. I will do the speaking. By now we have spread the word so far with so many pirate streaming events, and they are getting more and more every day. I'm very happy to have that. As I said, I will come back to that later. Unfortunately, our newly elected board member, Franziska Fischer, stepped down, so we had to nominate successors, and we can only, the General Assembly is the only authority to name board members, so we just could nominate, so they could do the job at interim. We had Franziska Fischer and Pascal Vitali, the treasurer, replaced by Cassandra Ruppen and Marc-Frederic Schäfer. And in July, then we also set up with our project Pirate Academy. Cassandra Ruppen made a use case model for that. So we are developing an open platform where you can enter your pirate streaming events, your Pirate Academy events, your educational speeches or presentations. And because of that, we also prepared some more people to be able to stream sessions like pirate streaming, like Pirate Academies. So Wolfgang presented a Pirate Academy, our first one on video streaming in Winterthur, which was quite a success. Also, like you can read on the page of Pirate Academy, there will all the material is there, so everybody can reuse it and get the knowledge after we did that. And also, because streaming got more important, we decided to take costs for our members, and we fund them if they need streaming. And the next event we could just apply that was the Bundesparteitag of the Pirate Party Germany in Offenbach. We also were present there, met new faces, many new faces, and old friends, handed out flyers, got some new members. And it also was a topic on the Bundesparteitag, and also for further assemblies in Germany with their many members. Decentralized assemblies would be a possibility to avoid electronic voting. So the pirates in Trier decided to try it out. And Pirates Without Borders said, okay, we'll guarantee for a certain sum, so we will guarantee that you can do it and we will try it with you together. Pirate Streaming is also with that, and they will stream the assemblies to each other, so the votings can be counted in time. Well, and then we are in 2012, that's this year, it's not too old, and we already had another Pirate Academy about liquid feedback, because the more direct democracy, liquid democracy, participation in decisions, tools like liquid feedback are essential, and we are just developing it, and we have to tell the people how to use it and how useful it can be. We have to show what vision we have from that. So we held a Pirate Academy in Austria, also to cheer up the newly strengthened Pirate Party in Austria. And just yesterday, facing the new elections in Saarland that also became necessary, we had another event where we cheered up the Saarland Pirates yesterday, and also Pirate Streaming was sponsoring this event, like the whole Saarland election, in fact. So that was the report of our year, what we did as an assembly. I hope you are satisfied with it, and well, now it's Jerry's part to ask you to discharge us. Meaning, well, a few things to tell. As I said, 2 board members resigned in the last 2 years. We replaced them, and the other board members who are not present here decided not to candidate again. They have their reasons, and Florian also asked me to read an email that he wrote to me with his personal reasons. I also want to thank every board member for the last 2 years where we worked together, and we had these really tremendous success with Pirate Streaming, with Pirate Academy, with growing, and with connecting pirates. So I'm just looking for the email that Florian sent me. I will read it in German, and I will just try to translate it. If I can find it again. Here it is. Warum bin ich nicht mehr angetreten? Ich habe lange überlegt, ob ich mich bei den Piraten ohne Grenzen noch einmal für ein Vorstandsamt zur Verfügung stellen werde, und habe mich vorerst dagegen entschieden. Warum habe ich mich hierzu entschlossen? Ich habe in der zurückliegenden Amtsperiode gemerkt, dass mir die Zeit nicht reicht, um als Vorstand so da zu sein, wie ich da sein wollte. Da in nächster Zeit in Deutschland Wahlen anstehen und ich durch meine Tätigkeit in der Feuerwehr und im Katastrophenschutz noch weniger Zeit zur Verfügung haben werde, habe ich mich nun gegen diese Kandidatur entschieden. Die Piraten ohne Grenzen haben einen Vorstand verdient, der Zeit hat und der hierdurch handlungsfähig ist. Natürlich bleibe ich weiterhin unterstützend tätig und stelle mich gerne weiterhin als Schnittstelle zwischen Piraten ohne Grenzen und Piraten Streaming zur Verfügung. Außerdem schließe ich nicht aus, dass ich, nach dem nächsten großen Wahlblock in Deutschland für die nächste Vorstandswahl der Piraten ohne Grenzen kandidiere. So, basically, he's telling that he just doesn't find the time to help us in a way that a board member should help an association. So he will turn to the elections in Germany and his official obligations there, and he will be connecting Pirates Without Borders and Pirate Streaming further, but just with a limited time amount as he did before. So about the other board members, it didn't send me anything special. I can't report on that. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Geo. So now I need some translator. How do you call what you gonna do? How do you call it in English? Decharge, yeah. Okay, let's call it decharge then. So we mean that you accept the reports from the board and accept that as their report, and then you vote if they what they can personally responsible for the last year from what they reported. So that's for the board, the whole board in one vote, but the treasurer, right? So yes, exactly. So I have to ask you now: do you accept the discharge of the board of Pirate Without Borders, but the treasurer, without the treasurer? So you have everyone who's accredited has to raise hands if they say yes, and the voting committee has to count the votes. So who's accredited? Who is against it? Who is in charge of the board without the treasurer? No one? I don't see anyone, so that's accepted. So the board has been discharged. Now we come to the reports of the treasurer then. After a few seconds, we have to call the treasurer. So we're waiting for the treasurer's report before we can discharge him, because that's a financial responsibility which has to be voted on separately. No report? Okay.
I don't think there will be a report of the treasurer because he's not attending here, and he promised to send the control committee a mail via snail mail with all the needed documents. But as I received no email, and as I discussed with the control committee, for now the treasurer is not to discharge because there are no documents. We will do that later on, so it has no legal implications except that if somebody would now file an accusation against the board or the association, he would be responsible personally for that if you don't discharge the treasurer now.
Okay, so what? That's done. So we're done with the discharge and the report of the board. So we come to the. Das gesagt hat nicht. Ah, okay. So you don't recommend it. Okay. Okay, so that was a recommendation. So we have to vote now. Do you? No. Okay, so going to vote on the discharge of the treasurer then. So who is in favor? And who is against? Oh. Okay. Yeah. So the discharge has not been granted for the treasury. And then we move on to the next point of the agenda, which is?
Which is a report of pirate streaming.
Report of pirate streaming. Who does that? You. Okay, so Georg, it's you again.
Yeah, thank you. I will do it for Wolfgang because actually I got the sheet here and he's working. So he wrote it in German and tried to translate it here, right here. So the history of pirate streaming began in 2010 when it was a private project. They streamed the PPI conference in Friedrichshafen and also Rick Falkwinger's speech from there. So this was the entrance to have many more other events. The first Bundesparteitag in Chemnitz of the Pirate Party Germany, which was streamed by Pirate Streaming, was more than an emergency solution than a real planned event. He wrote about a lead-in sentence, like a motto, to lower the barriers to get information. We provide a system independent streaming solution, so it doesn't matter which system you use to watch it, it doesn't matter which system you use to stream it. And we also are able to get subtitles, get translations. We lower barriers. In the year 2011, as I just reported on the board report, on May 4th, Pirates Without Borders, Pirate Streaming joined Pirates Without Borders as a project. So Pirate Streaming was able to provide international cooperation, and we also could consolidate resources and save money through that. We all pay our personal money for that. We also said we don't want to get money from it, and we don't want other people to get money from your data. So we joined the project of the AK-Vorrat in Deutschland, which is called We Save Your Privacy. We don't save any data. We anonymize everything that is logged to our servers. We anonymize anything that must be logged because of technical reasons. Any other logging is switched off. No data is saved. No personal data can be tracked down to a user. And therefore, this label Wir speichern nicht was granted to Pirates with Pirate Streaming. And later on, they also inspired us to get this label. So Pirates Without Borders also got that label a few months later. Well, just shortly after that, we tried to professionalize even further, and Wolfgang bought a satellite dish. So we were able to stream events independently. We don't need to rely on an internet connection, which is at location. And it's even independent from like UMTS connections or something, where you have, when you have many people, there are connection issues always. So we streamed some events, like first of all the streaming workshop, where we showed people how to stream, and then we had a North Rhine-Westphalian Landesparteitag from the pirate parties there. Then we had a the Federal General Assembly of the German Pirate Party in Offenbach with more than 1,500 viewers. Our largest event by now, I think, with the most attendance. And we also had several events which are not related to pirates, as for example, the Youth Congress of the Central Association of Jews in Germany, something like this. So we streamed their youth event. It went over 1 day, I think, or 2 days. 2 days, yeah, it was 2 days. We also streamed the Rosa Luxemburg conference. Another event was the Network for Alternative Quest. It was a stream with 4 simultaneously translators, and I think it was about politics in, with Kurds in Turkey and the whole question about that. So it also was a big leap forward, because discussions like this, Turkish people talking about the Kurdish questions, and this wasn't possible until, well, 10 years ago. And now it's possible for everybody in the world to attend to these discussions. What happened in the political reality, just with our presence, and what we are working on is, we get requests of fractions, of parliaments, for streaming concepts. We also get requests from governmental institutions, because they want to do streaming like from the city council or something, and they get offers like 100,000 euros. So we are also offering solutions for governmental institutions, and they are, we are getting recognized by them more and more. So we also do that decentralized assemblies, as we said before. If an assembly would have like 10,000 attendants, it would be too big for one hall or too big for discussions, so you must distribute. And we also are contributing to this by donations and also by technical advisory. Since 2012, services for streamers were constantly developed further, so it is possible to enter the event yourself. You can choose time and dates, you can choose how you stream it, all the stuff that you might have learned on the Pirate Streaming Pirate Academy. We also introduced a system for video conferencing that's also in relation to the decentralized assemblies, where you can have multiple inputs from multiple cameras and moderated speeches inside one platform. Also, we are developing to stream without a software. By now you need a streaming software. We are working on that, so you can just use a web service. For the events, I just want to name 2. It is the Assembly of the Pirate Party in Bavaria, which is a big one. And also, and obviously, the General Assembly of the Pirate Parties International in Prague in next month, 4 weeks from now. And the plans for the next year are that we build up instances for the separate countries, like Switzerland and Austria are prepared right now, and we want to have something in the United Kingdom as next. Yeah, well, these are the plans, and I'm not quite sure if I could answer specific questions, but I think Wolfgang will gladly answer you if it's too much for me. Are there any? No? Pirate streaming? What we We don't have specific plans for funding. We just opened a new page for donations and new ways for donations. And as we said, every streamer can load up his account with 10 euro or so. So he can stream, and he's just paying the cost that the server, the streaming, actually does cost. But so it's a very cheap way to stream events. If you have like a bunch of attendees and a handful of viewers, it will be like €1 for this event. If you have like a few thousand viewers, it will be a bit more expensive, but you can calculate. And for funding for these events, I mean, we will raise donations, but we don't have a plan for certain donation campaign. Exactly. No, it's just we use Amazon Cloud for restreaming it, to distribute it, and we have to pay the Amazon EC2, of course, so the fees from that are directly given to the streamer in that case. Yeah, we pay them. Yeah. We load up our account with money, and then it gets just from that account. But we have a track on it, so if it's getting too much for one organization, we will recognize that we... No, that is not something that is destroying our budget. We took care of it. You also had a question? Ah, hello. Yeah. Yeah, because actually it is, the problem is electronic voting is not a way to get voters. It is not secure. Well, there are discussions, but there are also concepts, but I don't think pirates like the idea of electronic voting so much. So they really like to gather and to discuss in a place and then vote on issues. But with 1,000 pirates, you get to a problem where you have 1,000 pirates in one hall. So if you have 10,000 pirates, you would either need one big hall, and you cannot discuss anything because of 10,000 people in it, or you need 10 halls at 10 places with 1,000 people each. So we have to connect these assemblies. They all happen at the same time, and they all vote on the same issues at the same time. But you have to count the votes, and you have to get the results together. So what is more obvious, like connect via video stream, you see each other, you hear each other, you have a moderator who moderates the speeches, and that's a concept of a... Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. I mean, there are... Yeah, of course. But electronic voting is a different thing, so, you know, like manipulation and... Yeah, I just want to mention that many pirates are very skeptic about electronic voting, and I know about the Swiss pirates having an electronic voting software which is quite elaborated, but as not every pirate is a software developer, not everybody can read the source code and see that it's really working and not manipulable and stuff like this, but I would really like to connect because, of course, maybe it's a better way. Yeah. Yes, we will discuss later. We have plenty of time, I think. There was a question also? I personally think of a TV channel or a media agency. You have several plans. You mean a pirate television broadcast station? Like, I really like the idea, but I really like the idea. I'm just not sure about how much manpower we have to run this. Because actually, if you have a TV station, you should be able to provide program for at least the whole day, or the whole night better, for pirates. Yeah, I see the plan, yeah. We should definitely discuss this. It is not on the plans for this year, but we should definitely talk about it. I really like the idea. Yeah, well, Wolfgang went. I don't like the idea of monetarization of YouTube, but yeah, we can get money for that. I mean, if you're educating people, maybe you can get funding from the state because well, there are possibilities. So, but we will have to discuss this in pirate streaming. And as Wolfgang just went for a cigarette and I am closed for this report, I would propose a short break, like 5 minutes, and then we go back to our next speaker. Any obligations? Wolfgang is back. I want to discuss a bit further and keep that in mind. And just have a 5 minutes break and we'll be back at 3:15.
Well, I'm gonna tell about the redundancy project, which we want to establish through the Pirates Without Borders and with help of all pirate parties over the world. We all know how privacy, freedom of speech, and data security is important in our progression. That's why it's important to have a stable and unbreakable Hivemind server, which consists of other smaller servers and physically is almost impossible, which physically is almost impossible to harm or switch it off. To establish this server, we need root access to by SSH and sorry. Maybe there is any questions? No? Well, we're trying to establish a redundant, absolutely reliable server, which will serve anonymity and for pirate party servers, sites, websites, yes. So every party will get a stable, unbreakable hosting, which would be absolutely resistible to any stupid law in countries like police came over and take over the servers and all the services are down and the website is unreachable. Or maybe DNS blockation, something like this. So to fight it, we need some really secure server. And I want to gather pirates all over the world and create this project. DDoS attacks. Well, this is a very serious issue about stability and strongness of this server. But I think if we reach certain amount of servers like 1,000, 2,000, I think it would be absolutely unbreakable by DDoS attacks. Yeah. So redundancy project is, for instance, 10 servers united in the cloud as one server. And if you switch off one of them, the network will be still connected and all the data was recovered automatically. Because file system of this server have 4 copies of each file. And it's quite secure. I think it's most securest way. Yeah. Legality? Sorry? Well, the system replicates itself on all the servers. In some parts, I have no screen, so I couldn't show you. For instance, you have the Pirate Party of Belgium, and Pirate Party of Germany, and Pirate Party of Russia, Pirate Party of Sweden, and this file is situated on every of this server, and you switch off the Swedish Pirate Party server, turn it off, but the copies will be recovered, and this file will be copied to the server of Pirate Party of Czechia, for instance. Yes. Well, as a main pirate idea, there is no illegal content, I think. It's impossible. This system will be anonymous, so there is no no escape for such content in any way. So sites like WikiLeaks or whatever, they will also always exist, and it's absolutely stupid to fight this situation. The more you fight it, the more it grows. Because nobody was interested in child porn 20 years ago. And now it's on the medias, so I think some people try to find such content, and they will do in any way. So we all know how anonymity is important for internet users. Any more questions? Nothing? Well.
Thank you, Yuri. Georg, I need an update on the agenda. What connections? Elections. How interesting. Okay, so we're going to go over. We're going to continue with the board elections for Pirate Without Borders. And we'll start with the chairman, chairperson. President is it called? Okay. Why should I the whole one, also the introduction, okay? Okay, then I'll pass the microphone over. Okay. I have been delegated. What is that? Why is it? Yeah. Someone's. Ah, I know someone spilled something. 1 second.
So, laptop. So, now we are all set up. So, elections, well, we start with the president. And unfortunately, we have only one candidate, unless somebody else wants to.
So I do that.
You do that?
Yes.
Okay.
You will have to introduce yourself.
Okay. So we'll start with the elections for the president of Pirate Without Borders. And first of all, we have one candidate who pronounces a candidature. Is there anyone else who wants to go for candidate for Pirates Without Borders? No? Then by the power vested in me by Gregory by delegation, I close the list for candidates and I go to Georg for his presentation as a candidate for president of Pirates Without Borders.
So, well, as I said already too much today, I just want to introduce myself just briefly. For those who don't know me, I'm born in Germany, now live in Switzerland, and therefore are very dedicated to the international idea of pirates. And I'm traveling for quite a while and connecting pirates from all over the world right now. So I cannot tell any continent I'm not connected with. So I would like to continue this job and connect pirates further. Well, to my vision, it's just I want to enlarge and broaden the association and get more inputs and get more exchange between pirates, and because we inspire each other in such a great way, and I've experienced it the last 2 years and want to continue with my work here, if you allow me to. Thank you.
Thank you, Georg. So I guess we move on to the elections. There, I think I have to ask Gregory and Patrick to do it. And now, Georg, you have to tell me. Georg? Georg? Do you have to do that as a secret vote according to Swiss law? Okay, that was my question. Yes. So. Anyone objecting to an open voting for the board candidates? No one objecting, so we do it by raise of hands. So I'll pass the microphone to Gregory.
Yeah, it's okay. I can walk. I have feet. So since nobody have objected, we do it openly by acclamation. So who is in favor of candidature of Georg Sinn to become the next, to continue as president of the Pirates Without Border? Please raise your hand now. Just keep raising your hands, please. Okay. Patrick, du hast wie viel? Ich habe auch 6. Okay, who is against the candidature? Please raise your hand now. None. And who is abstaining? No, you already been counted. So 1 abstaining and 1 have not participated in the vote. Okay. So congratulations, I proclaim you the winner.
Vote has been accepted. Congratulations, Georg, for the continued work on Pirates Without Borders. Now we come to the next election, which is the vice president, and I see 1 application but no name. Yeah. Rodrigo Roquera. Okay, so we have an application from Rodrigo for vice president. I am reading the text, I guess, so because he's not absent. So it says, "Dear members, I want to inform you that I plan to apply as the vice president of this organization. I would like to use my social and language skills to show the advantage of the..." Then the sentence ends. "In the past, I've had the opportunity to work with Georg Sinn. It showed that we were quite a productive team."
That's all.
So that's what he wrote. Then we're going to go to the elections.
Yeah. Are there any other candidates for the post of vice president of the Pirates Without Border? No, I don't see so. So I close the list of candidatures. So we have election of the vice president, and again I question if anybody demand a secret vote. I heard something. Somebody have made some noise, but so, okay. So there's no objections in doing it by acclamation. Okay, so we concede to it. So who is voting in favor of Rodrigo, sorry. Salzabor, yeah. For the Vice President of the CAO. Please raise your hand now. Okay. I count 7. Okay. Let's make a check. Is anybody against? 0. Anybody abstaining? 0 again. So Lolo, you're not voting, is it right? Okay. 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 So it was not me who made this decision. That's right. Mr. President, Mr. President Georgsen, when do we plan to include new members? Is there some point on the agenda where we would include new members? Yeah, I heard we have 2 applications. Yes, that's what I've heard right now. Okay. Do you have a place on the agenda for doing it? No? Okay, so we can. So even if we would submit them, we would not changing the election outcome. But I would suggest that we would include the new members into the next tour. Yeah. So please, I'll hand over to you whatever you're doing for it.
No, so that I just recognized, we have 2 more members here in the assembly, or at least they want to become members, but I don't think there's any obstacle in the way. So welcome 2 new members, I think. Yeah? You should present yourself. Yes, of course you can, but we're in the middle of elections. I'm not quite sure if we can. If you want to speak, I'm very happy to hear you. But can we do the elections now and then? Yeah. Thank you. How many time you need? We got until 8. About so. Did the vote counters count in that we have 2 new members now? Oh, okay. Okay. With voting rights. Okay. Maxime just recognized that he's also a member, so we are 3 new members today. 3 more from the next one. Maxime. Okay.
The next election, tour. Du unterschlägst auch keine Opposition, oder? Also schon steht Nummer 6. Hier steht Nummer 6, vorher war Nummer 4, jetzt Nummer 6. Also dazwischen kannst du überlisten. So. Okay. Ja, also wo sind wir? Klick mir bitte richtig an. Aktor Hals oder was? Internet doesn't work.
Yeah. So.
Yes. Wer ist das? Lux Bertois? Es tut mir leid. Da schreiben. Okay, so we have 1 application in the wiki. For the next position to fill is the position of an actuary. And we have 1 application in the wiki. from Lux Petor, which is, I've been told, it is Patrick Kopaczynski, and he's present. And I'll ask first if there are any other candidates for the position of actuary. So no. So I'll close the list of applicants. And Patrick, you want to present your candidature, or you would like? Oh, yeah, okay.
So I'm Patrick from the Pirate Party of Austria, and I want to apply for the actuary. Yeah, why? I know Georg since about 2 years. I met him first at the Klabautermann. It was a very funny event, and then I was introduced also to the Pirates Without Borders. And I think that the idea of a Pirate Academy is a very good idea, and I want to support this. This is one point. And my special skills are linguistics and literature, media analysis and strategy. And yeah, I want to help as the actuary to connect more pirates all over the world together.
Thank you. Well, since Patrick is a candidate for the next tour, for the next position, he cannot assist me in my duties, so I need a new assistant. Then we should get this first. So who's volunteering? Yeah, he's allowed. Okay, so if anybody opposing Georg as a new assistant of the electoral committee? No one. Thank you. Congratulations, Georg, on this. So we conclude the election. So who is in favor of the candidature of Patrick Kopaczynski for the position of actuary of the Pirates Without Borders? Please raise your hand now. I count 9. Georg, you agree? Okay, so we have 9 votes. Who is voting no, against? Who is abstaining? Okay, under abstention of the subject, I would proclaim Patrick Kopaczynski the election winner. Patrick, do you take the election on? Congratulations. So I don't know how to navigate this. So the next one we need is the treasurer. Fuck. Well, you do it. Okay, so we have one candidature in the wiki. What are you doing? So you're right. So Sami, who is this? It's a Darkshine name. Is he present? She? No. So it is the name, the actual name I've been told is Anita Friedrich. Rost, Anita Rost. In Klammern. Dark Shine. And that is treasurer. Well, she filed in an application in the wiki in German. Everybody have read it, so I don't need to read it out. Am I right? Everybody has read the application in the wiki, so I don't need to translate and read it out on the fly. Thank you. So, any other candidates for the post of treasurer? 3, 2, 1, gone. So we only have one candidate. So I would conclude the election. So who is voting in favor of Anita Rost, aka Darkshine for the post of treasurer of the Pirates Without Boarding. Please raise your hand. Oh, well, nobody objecting to for doing acclamation again. I forgot this to ask, so no objections? Okay, no objection. So we're doing it again by acclamation. Who is in favor? Please raise your hand now. Okay, I count 9. And who is voting against? 0. And any abstentions? Abstention? No? Okay. So 1 did not participate. So 9. So I guess she will accept. So you need to get. We can call her. Okay. Can you? We can do it. And also Rodrigo. We should call Rodrigo as well. Yeah, maybe. Okay. The next is the board position of a tech administrator. You really have this? Yes. Oh wow! In a board. Up to 5 board members. So it's not a special board member, tech administrator. I know him. I know. Okay, so we have a position. The next position to file is a position of a tech administrator as a 5th board member, and we have one application from Patrick Mechtler, aka Will, in the wiki. Sorry, fuck. I'm fucked up. Not I. Okay, yeah, bad eyes. Sorry. Application from Yuri. Alimov, yes, right. From Yuri Alimov, aka Will, for the tech administrator. Any other applicants for this position? No? So I close the applicants list. And Yuri, do you want to present your candidature or? Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, I'm a member of Russian Pirate Party. My name is Yuri Alimov, and I know Linux system, Macintosh system, Windows systems very well, and I always working in some development projects, mostly from design side, but also I was installing the services, servers, sometimes getting the FTP access. And I have a lot of friends which are system administrators, very powerful and good one, whom I always can ask for something to be done, like some help. So in that case, I think I worth to be on this position.
Thank you, Yuri. So we come to, is anybody objecting election by acclamation, by raising hands? I don't see any objections. So we conclude as we done before. So whoever is in favor of the Yuri Alimov for the position of the tech admin for the Pirates Without Border, please raise your hand now. Okay, I count 10 votes. That's unanimously, so we don't need to take the check for the others. Thank you. So do you accept the election? Congratulations.
So, congratulations to everyone who's elected. And we're going to move on to motions. And are there any motions? Yeah. Where? Show me. Okay, I'm just being told that we're not done with the elections. we have a control committee in the Pirates Without Borders that needs to be elected. So 2 people. There is. Where's the other one? You only have one? Yeah. Okay, so we have one candidate. Justus, uh-huh. And Wolfgang Peter there? Yeah, okay. So we have 2 candidates for Control Committee of Pirates Without Borders. There comes the first. As I read here, Wolfgang, you put your candidate for Control Committee. So, 2. So you want to present yourself, say something? No? So, you want to do? As candidate for Control Committee? So, okay. Yep.
If you got another candidate, I withdraw.
Okay. So, as we got 2 candidates, no, 3 candidates, Wolfgang withdraws his candidature. So we have 2 candidates still. I'll start with Justus Römet. Okay, Justus Römet, who sent his application via email or put it in the wiki, so I'm going to read it now. Dear all, I would like to apply for the Control Committee. I've been a member of Pirate Party Germany since 2009. I have been active on both the PPI and PPEU list. I would like to support Pirate Without Borders, but I'm not sure how much time I will be able to invest for the next years. So I think being part of the Control Committee allows me to assume responsibility without risking too much disappointment due to time restraints. So that's application for Control Committee from Justus Römet. Even if there would be questions, he's not here to answer them, so I'll give it to Gregory then. You want to do it in a whole, Yeah. Okay, okay. So we're going to vote is anyone objecting in voting the whole committee, like 2 people, 2 candidates in one vote? No objections. So we're going to continue with the presentation of the second candidate. Milis Keldalu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. You can present yourself if you want.
So, yes, my name is Meelis. My being here has been a bit of a rush, buying Ryanair tickets, which I could get to Düsseldorf, then training. Trains didn't go so fast all the time. Well, but now I'm here, and greetings from Estonia. As I hear also, this whole connection with Estonia is quite new, and the Pirate Party in Estonia is also just gaining momentum. So it's a little bit jumping to the unknown waters. But I hope you will do a good job, and my job will be reduced to basically 0. But yeah, it's an honor to be here.
Thank you. So we already agreed to do it in one go. Is anyone objecting it of doing election by acclamation? No? Very good. So who is in favor of the control committee as presented? Please raise your hand. Okay, that's anonymously, I think, but yes. So we have it all together 10-0-0. So I think you accept the election, Meelis? You're accepting? Yes. Congratulations on this. I think Justus also accepting. Yeah. Congratulations. He's tweeting. Okay. Okay, thank you. So we're done with election. Is it true? Yes, so I can put my signature again.
Thank you, Gregory and Patrick, for the voting. So we come again to the motions. Immer hier die Tasten kommen links nach rechts. Das ist mir schon wieder zu viel. So we continue with motions now. We have two motions. There, and where's the next one? There. Okay. No, that's closed now. 1, 2. Okay. We'll find the motions. 1 second. So, okay. So we'll start with motion 4. It says here. So it says liquid feedback, and the board shall implement liquid feedback and rules how initiatives are processed, especially to define how the board will act upon the delegated opinion of the members according to decisions made on initiatives. And Georg, it's you who proposed the motion, so you can say a few words if you want.
It's about, well, liquid feedback is that tool that we use for liquid democracy right now that is the most elaborated. So, though we are a quite small association, I think that the global finding of solutions, finding of ideas, and to develop ideas can only be possible with a tool like this. And as it's the best I see on the market right now, I propose that we introduce it, and the board shall implement some mechanisms like quotas and define how it has, how the process has to be exactly, which quota you have to get into the initiative, then to which quota do you need to get it to vote, and then what will be done with the result. Is it legally binding for the board, or what should be done with that? I propose that the board should elaborate the process and present it to the members and implement liquid feedback as decision tool.
Are there any questions concerning this motion? No, there I see no questions. So we would move to the voting of the motion. Georg, what is the quorum, like the voting procedure? Is it 50% plus? Okay, so just more vote yes than no. Okay, so we will vote for the motion with the title Liquid Feedback that was just presented. So I ask who is in favor, and please, Gregory, you check how many hands will be raised. So who is in favor of the motion Liquid Feedback? Six in favor. Who is against the motion Liquid Feedback? 1. Any abstentions? I see 3. So that was passed. Okay, you wrote down the exact. Someone wrote that down actually? We have a. Yes. Okay, great. So motion accepted. Then we come to the next motion, which is Redmine. It says, like I'm reading the description, it says, I suggest to use Redmine officially as our tool to plan our projects and resources. As an international organization, we could benefit from the possible synergy effects from Redmine developers inside and outside the Pirates community. Who is Salsa Bor again? So that motion was proposed by Rodrigo. And okay, are there any questions concerning this motion? The question is, what is Redmine? Okay. Can I ask a question? Why do you need a vote on a motion in the assembly for that, to use it?
Yeah, it also says to plan our resources. So what is meant here is that every member of Pirates Without Borders has an account on the Redmine system where we can group them, where we can see where are our members, in which group are they, in which project are they active, and stuff like this. So this is because every member would be obliged to have an account in the Redmine. That's what's implicated here. So therefore, it's the motion on Redmine to use it officially. Right, so we want to make it official. Therefore,
Yep.
I mean, you can just... Of course you can, but maybe I will be pissed off because you just can... Oh, why can't you write a mail or something? Yeah, it's... You can also write a mail to the board or something where I can copy paste it, but I shouldn't be the one who writes down your ideas. Everything will be tracked in there. So it is the official tool where everything is shown. Of course, we can talk to each other and you can tell me your ideas and I can tell you if I'm willing to write it into the Redmine or if you just should do it yourself. So, well, you have the choice. If that's your question, I'm not quite sure. But, I mean, you can file applications, you can talk to the board, you can talk to each board member all the time. It's not that it's the only way to communicate with each other. Maybe I tell you the story how it went in Austria. When there was the introduction of Redmine as a test system, go there, open up account, find out yourself, see how it works, stuff like this. And there was a testing phase for a couple of weeks. There was the motion to officially introduce it to the members, that every member should have an account there. Then there were like members who said, you cannot, just like you cannot tell people how they have to behave and how they have to coordinate and how they have to file something. So there was a big discussion, and in the end, Redmine wasn't introduced, and it isn't used by everybody. And so we have like, the situation is somebody is working on a wiki, somebody's working on another wiki, somebody's working in a pad, some just write emails to each other, and some meet. So there is, yeah, it sounds like pirates, and there is no coordination, and maybe you know from PPI how the situation in Austria was for the last 6 years. So it could have something to do with that unorganized whatever. It's getting organized, it's getting better, and I see that that was accomplished through tools like Redmine. And I also want to get organized here and get the work done. And we need tools for that, not just work somewhere and nobody knows about it. Anytime? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not meant that way. It is meant that if we have a project and we assign a task to you, you will have to use Redmine and track your work. So that's not just write it onto any pad or write an email onto Mars and hope that they will forward it to me, and then I notice that somebody has been doing something. So there should be one place where all the projects, all the work is at least visible. That's the idea behind that. We can do it for the board only, of course, but I think the vision was to have everybody in this system and to see who's doing what, and if people are under pressure of too much work, and some people want to do something but they don't do anything, or they had a task and they didn't do something for 2 months, so maybe he is too much in work and you should give it to somebody other. And you cannot track it if you have like pads, wikis, and in different parties also. Like you have to search in the German, the Swiss, and the Austrian wiki, in the Austrian wikis, and see what I mean? It just makes it easier to work for it. I see your objection, yeah. Got it. Yeah, yeah.
Gregory, was that your motion to change the, no, your,
Yeah, it was a motion
was
to
that,
change that, yeah. For the board.
yes? Yeah, but that was like, you didn't retract it, so we have to vote on it too. Yes, okay, but we still had some discussions about it, so let's go first.
Well, it's hard to say. Members that have paid the membership fee in the last 3 months, about 25. Total about 100. For the active ones that are dedicated to work with us. So for the 25 that have paid, yeah, that actively take part. It provides both ways. We have a member list and we have the email addresses, so we will send everybody an access to their account on the Redmine, and yeah, we will introduce it. We will send the members their password, and so they can log in, and. It's no statute amendment, so it's just a motion to the assembly to get a vote on that. Yeah, just to clarify the position that we officially endorse Redmine as our tool, but we don't write it into our statutes that it's absolutely necessary to do this. It's just to make our position clear that we want to have one tool to coordinate. We are planning to redirect wiki pages to the Redmine, yes. Not uninstall, but yeah. No. Exactly that is what we want to, yeah, exactly that is what we want to avoid. That you have to check any source that comes to your mind, and also sources that you don't know. That's the main problem. There are sources you don't know, you would have to check to get the complete picture, and we want to avoid that. So, yeah, there was this motion on this motion. Yeah, to change the motion.
So first we would vote on that motion to change the motion. That means the motion we are voting on now is to change the proposed motion from I suggest to use Redmine officially as our tool to plan our projects and resources, from the original text which I just read, to I suggest to use Redmine officially as our tool in the board to plan our projects and resources. Is that correct? Okay, so again, we are voting now on the motion to which said, yes, to change the motion we discussed. Yeah. Yes. So we vote now on the changed motions, and if that one is accepted, we don't vote again. And if it's not accepted, we vote on the original motion, unless there are objections. If the statutes don't allow that, we have to vote 3 times. Then we just change this one. If the statutes allow the procedure with... Yes. Yes. Okay. So we start with... Yeah. So we start with the motion proposed by Gregory. The changed one from the first proposal. I read again what the proposal says. I suggest to use Redmine officially as our tool in the board to plan our projects and resources. As an international organization, we could benefit from the possible synergy effects from Redmine developers inside and outside the Pirates community. Who is in favor of this motion? Please raise your hand. That's 3. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. The vote Gregory decides, so it's 4 in favor. Who is against this motion? 1. Who abstains? 5. That means accepted, right? 4 against, 1 abstention don't count, unless I'm looking, because you don't know the rules more, but you know the rules of procedure better than I do, the GEO. So, okay, so motion accepted, and we will then, we vote on the other one? yeah, we vote on it, and then we'd see the results, and then we can vote as long as we want, until there is the correct results. So there's the original motion we're going to vote on now, which says, I suggest to use Redmine officially as our tool to plan our projects and resources. I'm not going to read the other sentence again. It's just the same without the officially as our tool in the board. So that the in the board was dropped. So who is in favor of this motion? Four people in favor. Who is against it? That's two people. Who abstains? Four people. So both motions have been accepted, and now we need to find to vote them against each other. So who's in favor of motion 1 and who's in favor of motion 2? Or anyone sees any other possibility? Yes. So I propose that we vote motion 1 against motion 2. So I will ask who is in. I will just explain the voting procedure, and then we decide which motion is which. So I will ask who is in favor of motion 1. You raise your hand. Who is in favor of motion 2? Raise hand. And who abstains? Raise hand. And then the motion with the most votes will be accepted. Is that correct? And does anyone abstain on that? No. Okay. Yes. That's what I'm now telling. So everyone, for motion 1, so the first motion that we're going to vote on was the motion proposed by Gregory with the addition of in our board in the text. Motion 2 is the original motion proposed by Georg, well, presented by Georg, without the words in our boards in them. So we're going to vote now. Who is in favor of motion 1 saying in the text in our board, our official tool in our board? Who's in favor of this motion? Two people. Who is in favor of motion 2, the original motion proposed, presented by Georg, without the text in our boards? Who's in favor of motion 2? Four. Who abstains? That's 4. So motion 2 is accepted, which is the original proposal without the addition proposed in the assembly. So the one in the wiki is accepted without the addition in our boards. Yeah? Okay. So no, we have to work too here, no? Not just for fun. So, are there any other? Are there other motions? You're already talking about the fun part. So, what is the next point on the agenda? Someone wants to present herself, I guess. So, Varia. Yes. So we're going over to the points on the agenda without any specific name, but there was a proposal to present new members. So, any new members who wanted to propose themselves? I see one person getting up. So, nameless stranger, you can have the microphone and present yourself.
Hello, my name is Lola Voronina and I'm representing the Pirate Party Russia, and I'm a Chief Administrative Officer of Pirate Parties International. And I wanted to say that today I finally submit my application and join the Pirate Without Borders. And for the first time I heard about Pirate Without Borders, it was a year ago. It was on the General Assembly in Friedrichshafen, but that time I didn't join Pirate Without Borders, and even I was offered many times, I never did it. But after I see how many great people, everybody I ask, they are members of Pirate Without Borders. All my friends are are members of Pirates Without Borders. Also, you do so many good things for other people, for other parties, for us, for PPI. You are going to do the streaming on our PPI event, and you are going to be sponsors of this event. Also, you help Pirate Party of Russia when we had the problems with our servers, and I found it out at 11:30 in the night that if we don't pay today, by tomorrow, that our servers will be shut down, and members of Pirate Without Borders donated money to us and saved our servers in the time when we really needed. So this one I really appreciate. Also, you help people who cannot afford accommodation at the PPI but want to attend the PPI General Assembly. You help them, and you made my life easier when members of Pirate Without Borders, who I do not understand if it's his project or if it's Pirate Without Borders project, the Pirate FM. Is it like Swiss Pirate? Yeah, but he's still a member of Pirate Without Borders. Yes, so again, like good people, and that person did me a favor because he recorded an interview with me, and I don't have any more to explain people why the Pirate Party of Russia isn't registered. I just give them a link and I say what time is there and that I speak all that, explain in English. So that's my relationship with Pirate Without Borders for a year, and now I finally become a part of you.
Anyone else who wants to say something? Present himself, herself. Any comments, questions, last speeches by old and new presidents, perhaps, who want to close the assembly when they're done collecting money? Yes, okay. So, Georg, I give you the honor of closing this assembly unless you have something else to propose. Go ahead.
The only thing I want to do before closing this assembly is to thank Jerry for leading us to the day, and also thanking Lola for jumping in and holding another motivational speech. I really liked it. And I want to thank all of you that came here to our small familiar meeting, and all of you who wanted to watch and only can watch it later now. But we are still here for you, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Just call, write an email, file something to the Redmine, whatever. Have a nice day. Thank you.